What is going on, guys? Dinner vs. All Gaming with my review of Akame Got Killed episode 14. And this episode, it was a pretty simple episode, but we got a ton of information, and of course we learned so much about Esdeath. But the episode itself, it starts off where Tatsumi and Esdeath, they are of course reunited once again, and Esdeath, she's not wasting any time, and she's all up on Tatsumi. And even though Tatsumi definitely wants to escape and get out of there, I really don't understand why, because you know, a girl like Esdeath, if I had some girl that was that crazy about me, then I would definitely be all for that. But no, Tatsumi right now wants nothing to do with her. But we see that throughout the episode, he is still thinking that like he could possibly, you know, convince her to like change sides. But you know, at the end though, he comes to that sad realization that right there is impossible, because there is no way he can ever change her. But even though, you know, they were having you know, this like pretty nice moment, at least for her, they were interrupted, because we saw that like Lubok, he was still like at the mountains, but he could definitely sense somebody was like had definitely, you know, had come here. And so right now, you know, he had played it smart. He did hide because Tatsumi was not there, and whoever it was, he could tell that they were pretty powerful, because obviously if they were moving, you know, at that fast of a speed, then like clearly whoever it was, they were not like your they were not like your average danger beast, or you know, like regular people. And so when he did hide, this person, he was able to reach the top of the mountain, you know, pretty easily. And not only that, he was also able to hide as well. But of course, Esdeath, she has like these pretty good senses, and so she picked up on that, you know, easily. And so when this guy came out, you know what he did? He actually teleported them, you know, to like a deserted island. But now we like finally see this guy, and we see now that like he has a scar, so clearly, you know, something happened to him in the past. But this guy right here, he will play a pretty big part in the story, and we actually let you know who he really is. He is the Prime Minister's son. And as a manga reader, I just gotta say, I hate this guy with a passion. But obviously, you know, you guys will find out why as the series goes on, and maybe some of you, you know, you all feel the way that I feel. But now that like Esdeath and Tatsumi, now that they were on this island, we had some like pretty good comedy in the episode, because Tatsumi here thought that like maybe this right here was like some kind of illusion, so he wanted like Esdeath to hurt him. And so Esdeath, she like thought that maybe he had like some kind of fetish, and that right there, you know, like made her blush, and she thought, you know, that those two were like really made for each other, and that right there, you know, it was pretty funny. But Esdeath here, her ice powers, they are on, you know, a whole nother level, as she easily, you know, like made this huge ice tower, you know, for them to like check out the island. But of course they were like surrounded by this ocean. But then we see like this massive danger beast that like definitely looks similar, you know, to Dr. Stylish. It appeared out of nowhere, and so after she pretty much soloed this creature, and we have Tatsumi thinking that like it took all a night raid, you know, to beat this thing. And so he like really worried if him and Esdeath can do it, you know, like by themselves. But Esdeath here pretty much had like soloed this thing, as we saw her impaled with like many ice spikes. But you know, even though, you know, it was definitely her, it was not dead. And so when like Esdeath here brought out another technique, this beast, you know, even though it is so big, it actually, you know, it's pretty quick as it dodged it. But we have Tatsumi running along the ice, and it actually, you know, impaled the little body that was like attached to it, and we all know that right there killed the big monster. And so now that they're stuck there, they have no choice but to like obviously, you know, like to obviously check out the island, because they could be there for God knows how long, and so they had no choice but to walk around. But Esdeath here, she was like taking this more as a date, and we see now that like even though they were stranded there, it did seem like they were having a good time somewhat. But when it became nighttime and they were like looking out at the ocean, we see now that like Esdeath, she was definitely getting, you know, like pretty close with Tatsumi, and like she even wanted him to like make the choice, which to me, to be honest, I would definitely take one. I would say screw Night Raid, because I would join Esdeath in an instant. To be honest, I probably would have picked all three of those choices that like Tatsumi could have chose from. But of course, like an idiot, he does not pick one. But we see now that when when Esdeath did, find out what island they were on, they weren't actually that far from the capital. I believe they were like on the south side, on the far south side of the capital, where like the ocean is, and obviously, that's where the island is. And so right away, she like found she had found the gate that they were first used, to get here, but right now it was closed. But obviously, this guy, he might open it again. And so because of that, like while they're waiting, Esdeath had like wanted to know more about Tatsumi, but who knows, how much she wanted to know, because we saw that like she had put his head in her chest, but like Tatsumi, obviously, this guy, he has no idea how to like react to that, and so we see now that like rather than them getting to know each other, that kind of way, we actually learn about Esdeath past. And so pretty much she actually comes from like this northern tribe that would this like northern clan that would actually hunt danger beasts. And we see that like when Esdeath was a kid, she had hunted like these dinosaur looking danger beasts, and she actually killed one with no problem. But we see now that her father, who was definitely more skilled than her, he had killed like this massive one. But the thing is though, he did not kill his prey like Esdeath killed hers. But the only reason, the only reason why he didn't kill it is because he needed to get that orb or whatever it was, like out of his body while it was still alive. And to be honest, that dino orb, whatever it was called, to me, it reminded me of a witch's soul from like Soul Eater. But overall, it was still pretty cool. And so we see now that like that her father, he was kind of like worried about it, because Esdeath is like clearly missing something, but he has no idea what it is. And so because of that, he does not like really like try to figure it out. Like all he cares about it's just like installing this knowledge that like strength is everything, and the weak deserve to die as the strong lives on. That right there is the mindset that he gave Esdeath, and that right there has followed her for her entire life. And so pretty much, even when like Esdeath was like watching these ants, like fight, and then they killed their queen, like we have her father here talking about Esdeath's mother, and like and how she was killed by a death beast. And this guy pretty much sounded like he did not have any like care at all. He pretty much like gave no fucks that his wife would like even kill, because that right there is kind of like how it came off. But now we see that like Esdeath, she had left her tribe for a while, like for a couple of days, and she hunted this like really rare bird. And so when she like taking it back to her clan, we see now that they were attacked, they were like pretty much wiped out. And when we see her father, who like barely alive, this guy had like all of these spirits inside of him. And so pretty much her father now, he was telling her, to live on and become strong. And so that right there definitely stuck with her. And so we see now that like the people that like had killed her clan, they were like from the northern side, and obviously like that group right there, they were like pretty much wiped out by Esdeath when she was like first introduced. And so Tatsumi thought that like maybe she was doing it for revenge, but that right there was not the case. Esdeath has always been someone that was like very twisted, sick, and evil. And to be honest, I love that about her. I love how she like breaks the mold when it comes to like female character, because Esdeath, she is like really unique, at least to me. In my own opinion, Esdeath is definitely unique, and obviously like I always say, she is definitely my favorite girl in the entire series at this point. And so because of that, when like Tatsumi realized how she really is, and there's nothing he could like really do to change her, he comes to realize that that's impossible. But then he actually see her imperial arm, and we see what it is now. It's like it's this mark on her chest, and so we learn now how she got that. And so we learned how she got that, and it's because when she like first joined the prime minister, joined the army, she actually had to pick an imperial arm, and we saw these ones that like all on the table, and I'm pretty sure most of you know what they were. But the one that like really drawn to her, it was this urn full of demon blood. And the people, could like drink that, and they were compatible with it. They would have control over ice. But the ones that weren't compatible, they were actually driven insane by that. And so Esdeath pretty much drunk the entire thing, and we see now what had drove those people crazy. But Esdeath is so freaking powerful. You know, she was the one that was in charge, and that right there is like how she got that power, which is like pretty freaking awesome. And so after learning that, you know, it definitely like that right there goes to show you, you know, how strong she is. Even like without her Imperial arm, she was like a brilliant soldier, and that right there, she made her, you know, a freaking beast. And so now I'm back, you know, in reality, out of the flashback. We see now that like Esdeath, she was talking about these danger beasts, and like and how they were easy to tame, but for her it's like kind of easy. And so now we see Tatsumi points out that like one of them were there that they could possibly use to get back. But when Esdeath had like right off attainment, even though it was so high in the air, the portal actually opens as we go back, you know, to the hooded man. And we see now that like he was with this woman, but he did open a portal. Now like for some reason it is weird that, you know, even though he had sent them there, it was definitely kind of weird that like he opened a portal, you know, for them to return. It's kind of like he knew that they weren't going to die there, but obviously, you know, this guy being the prime minister's son, I'm pretty sure he knew that like Esdeath would be fine because she's obviously, you know, very powerful. But the funny thing is though, like he was actually with a woman while he was doing all this, and obviously, you know, they had slept together. But this guy is like such a piece of crap because we saw that when like she had learned that this guy right here was the prime minister's son, and like she had made this like rude comment, I guess, you know, saying minister, you know, that one. Like that right there really hit a nerve with him, and he punched her out of nowhere, and that right there wasn't uncalled for. Like to me, this guy is scum, and obviously, like I said, I definitely hate him, but this right here does not come. This right here is only like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to why I pretty much, you know, dislike him so much. But obviously, you know, this guy had like his own goals, and he does want to like surpass his father one day. So obviously, he has like his own goals that he wants to achieve, and now just walk in his father's shadow, you know, for the rest of his life. And we see now that when the portal was open, Tatsumi was like quickly going to get out of there. But Esdeath had done so much for him, he could not really, you know, leave her behind like that. So he did give her a warning, and Esdeath did try to stop him, but like Tatsumi was already gone. And when she finally, you know, like went to the portal, and they were back at the place where they were originally, Tatsumi was now hiding, and Esdeath thought that he was gone, you know, so quickly, because I would imagine that like she had ran there as quickly as possible after he was gone. But Tatsumi, of course, he was like hiding with his Imperial alarm. So even though, you know, he could hide his presence when he was in the movie, and his body, of course, if he did move or like try to escape, you know, like Esdeath would have definitely, you know, picked up on that. So he had no choice but to like wait for her to leave. But even though they were separated once again, Esdeath was like definitely not that sad about it, because she said that like if it happened twice, then it could like definitely happen again. But now Tatsumi, he also had that same feeling as well. And now that he knows that it's impossible to change her, he has no choice but to accept the fact that the next time that they meet, Esdeath will be an enemy. And that was like pretty much the end of the episode. Now the episode itself, you know, it was good. You know, we found out more about Esdeath. We saw how awesome her powers can be. We saw now that we also saw how she got her Imperial alarm. And so for all of that, you know, and especially the way those two were like interacting on the island, you know, with like comedy stuff, I'm actually going to give the episode, you know, an 8 out of 10. But of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.